I'm James Ruder,
Victoria Conway,
Alexa Iniguez.
and we're here to talk about genetically modified organisms.
also known as GMOs. As citizens of the United States,
We are the ones being affected.
in 2012 alone, America's gross domestic product was $15.68 trillion. That is what most people think of when America is involved, a first world country and one of the world's leading superpowers. However, America is also the number one consumer of genetically modified organisms, also known as GMOs.
A genetically modified organism, or GMO, is a living organism in which the genetic material has been permanently altered through gene technology. GMOs were first originated and patented in 1980. Just 2 years later, it was already approved by the FDA. We understand that GMOs are utilized to keep up with America's growing population.
Since the creation of GMOs, consuming organisms such as people and animals are experiencing negative side effects. Side effects include obesity, type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and certain types of cancer, some of the leading causes of preventable death. Ravaging the economy, last year major food and pesticide companies donated more than $46 million to run a chaos campaign betting against GMOs in the campaign Prop 37, a ballot to label genetically engineered foods in one of our major states, California. Losing all that invested money and time against the very large corrupted company of Monsanto, which also allied against Pepsi, denying Americans in their right to know what's in their food. Pepsi blankly assaulting the Americans' ideal of truth, transparency, and democracy.
We understand why you don't want to enact laws against Monsanto, due to the large profit they bring to Congress. However, there are many issues surrounding this corrupt company. GMOs have created a drastic ripple effect across our country. Studies have proven that they negatively affect our soil. Therefore, our future crops will be harmed. GMOs are not only affecting America's health, but tarnishing our economy. China has rejected more U.S. corn due to an unapproved GMO strain. Now traders are saying that more rejections are likely to come.
We had some first-hand account interviews with high school students questioning their knowledge on GMOs, and with these results we discovered that a high majority of the students knew of these GMOs but truly did not comprehend the severity of the issues surrounding GMOs.
I'm going to ask you a few questions. First of all, what is your name?
Angelo.
Do you know what a GMO is?
Yes, I do.
What are they?
Genetically modified organisms.
Do you know the risks of GMOs?
No, I don't.
How often would you say you consume them?
Daily.
Hi, I'm Jay, and I'm going to ask you a few questions on GMOs. First of all, what's your name?
I'm Claudia Ramirez and I'm in the 11th grade.
Alright, Claudia, do you know what a GMO is?
Yes. It's a genetically modified organism.
Do you know the risks of GMOs?
I'm not sure. I think that some cause disease, like cancer problems.
Would you like them to be on labels?
I would. I'd like to know when I'm consuming them.
How would you feel if I told you that GMOs have a strong correlation with obesity?
I feel pretty bad.
Thank you.
George Hernandez, 11th grade.
Do you know what GMOs are?
Yeah,
Do you feel like we should have healthier alternatives for people?
I think so, yeah.
When you consume products, do you know when they have GMOs in them?
Sometimes, because they have labels.
Well, when they're not labeled, you don't know. Okay, thank you.
I'm Stephanie Dupuy. I'm in the 11th grade. How do you feel about the topic of GMOs? I don't know.
So you're saying you really don't know much about them?
Not really. All right. Do you believe that the USA should work harder in labeling foods that are consumed? Yes.
Because GMOs, they're really unhealthy for you. So would you prefer a more healthier alternative?
Yeah.
Our generation isn't the only one noticing.
When the FDA made its decisions to approve the production of genetically modified foods, and also when it decided that not only wasn't not necessary to label genetically modified foods, but you also weren't going to be allowed to. And I was a consumer representative on the committee. They didn't listen to the consumer representatives. We warned the FDA at the time, and this was now 20 years ago, that if they didn't label genetically modified foods, there would be a consumer backlash against them because consumers would wonder what they were trying to hide.
What are they trying to hide?
We.
We want to know what's in our food.
States need to begin to take an initiative, just like the state of Hawaii has with passing an anti-GMO bill.
Spread awareness of what a GMO is exactly in the case of each and every person knowing what's inside the food that they consume.
The United States government could begin to ratify laws that make it illegal for companies not to label their products as genetically modified.
When we're standing at a distance, so we keep waiting on the
We can't afford to keep waiting for the world to change. We must act now.
We need to know what's in our food.
Congress 2014 should focus on the underlying issue of GMOs and the lack of labeling their products.